Hey, Darcy.
Hi, how are you, Charlie?
Good. Happy Tuesday. Hey, Brad.
Hey,
You're in a
hey.
new location.
Yes, sir. I'm actually in an office. Whoa.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're having to do that to yourself. Hey, Stacy.
Hey.
Let me. I'm going to turn off the videos of our Fathom note takers. Um, though it's really cool. How's your week been, Stacy?
My week has been it's good, busy. I've been staying busy, which is amazing for December because I don't think I did anything last December.
Yeah,
So I'm feeling like elated about myself.
that's awesome.
How are you?
I'm good too. Working on an inspection for a $1.3 million house, getting paid 3%
Nice.
from the buyer.
Oh, that's a good one.
Uh,
Did
that's
did the seller offer 3%?
They did, yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
the
I
seller
like
did.
it. You
Yeah.
rarely hear that up here.
Yeah, that will that'll cover my kid's Costco bill for 3.5 weeks. So
Wait, what bill?
Costco, their
Oh,
I
grocery bill.
love
that's
that.
awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, yeah. That's what happens when you got four boys.
Wow.
Um,
Oh,
Yeah, I
wait till
guess
they're
only advantages.
teenagers.
Yeah, the
oh
rest of it, the
gosh.
rest of it, you have to invest for when they become teenagers, so that you can have triple that in 1 week.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
house was the house where everybody wanted to be, which I wanted, but man, those
Hmm.
kids can eat.
Well, mine's the opposite. No one wants to come here because I'm too strict. I guess it has its advantages after talking to you guys.
That's right. That's
Can't
right.
really eat me out of house and hold, right?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, it is yeah, so that's really good for me. And I've got I don't know, about a $900,000 listing that's coming up here soon.
Nice.
So I pretty much relax usually during the holidays because I mean, it's usually slow. I enjoy the ones that I get, and
Yeah, ours
we're
is
about to
slow
go
this
to
time
Puerto
of year
Rico.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, really slow.
Hey, Carol Ann. Yeah. Yeah. One of my first mentors, um, when I talked to him, I don't know, about 8 years ago, I started working with him, and every winter I'd just freak out. And he was like, and he's in a different industry, but works for himself. And he was like, "Do you have enough money for this next month?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Did this happen last year?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Are you okay now?" I was like, "Yeah." And after a couple of years, he's like, "Look, just plan for it, just know it." And I love the kind of switch that he had. The switch that he gave me was like, this is a gift. You're going to be busy in the spring and the summer. You always are. Um, Enjoy this time with your family and your kids. Like, get healthy, like, have fun, and save up for it. Like he actually, it's pretty fascinating. Starting kind of September, October, he prepays his electric bill. His like he starts prepaying all of his bills until like February every year. That way, he's like, I don't even worry about it. It's already paid up. I was like, that's pretty smart.
Hmm.
My
Sorry,
broker,
that's
And
my broker who's been doing this for like 50 years says he always works more at winter because everybody takes time off. He does
I
more.
hear that. That's what our coaches say too.
People
Everybody, all
yeah,
the agents are sleeping. You need to get out there and work.
are like not working, they're lazy, whatever. Enjoying the holiday. I mean, it depends what you can do, what you can afford to do.
yeah, yeah. Well, I've just found like for the most part, it's pretty cyclical. Like I mean, a lot of my clients, like, I've got a couple deals that I'm working on because my clients raise my hand, but most of my clients, they're not doing anything now. So I appreciate the downtime and the uptime because what I used to do when I had downtime, I used to freak out. I used to do all this extra work. It did, I mean, the 80/20 rule, it didn't bring in much extra. And then when the work actually came in, I was exhausted because I'd been spinning my wheels for the last X time.
Yeah.
And I'm not that way anymore.
Cool.
And but I found that's the reason most coaches are coaches, because if they actually ran a real estate practice the way that they coach, they blow their brains out.
Yeah, true.
For sure.
uh, so I'd love to. I was thinking I'd love to follow up. Last week we talked about kind of some fun events. Stacy, did you make any kind of progress on that, or love your thoughts after a week later?
I'm totally doing Puppies and Pinot. We are going to, I contacted a couple wineries. I just have to go out and actually visit them so that I can talk to them. And I contacted a couple rescues, and I'm just waiting for them to get back to me. Apparently this is their busy season. Everybody wants to adopt a puppy for Christmas. So I'm just waiting for them to contact me back. But Puppies and Pinos is a go.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And Carol Ann, did you have any other thoughts?
I have not done anything with that because I just didn't. So, I mean, I always do an annual cookie decorating. It's kind of a mom and kid thing. I've been doing that.
Oh, that's cool.
It's not really a money generating thing. It's more of like a kid thing. So to
Yeah.
me, that, you know, everybody expects it and enjoys it. So
Do you enjoy it?
I do enjoy it because I get to decorate cookies and get to hang out with other moms,
Yeah.
and I enjoy seeing the kids how they look forward to it every year.
Where do you do it?
Yeah.
I just do it at my house. I mean, it's just mostly just friends. One of the moms passed away this summer, so it's even more important, you know.
Right.
So,
Oh my gosh.
like we're including her son and some other moms, you know. It's like a mom and kid thing. But
Yeah.
I am thinking about the Christmas caroling. I don't know how to really orchestrate it, I guess.
I think
Yeah.
you just do it, just throw it out there and see who shows up. Because remember, the default was like you are going to the beach, and you have
Yeah.
like, and if one person shows up, which they always do, at least one will show up. Then you guys are having a great time on the beach with your chairs, singing Christmas carols and doing whatever. And whoever else shows up, it's just going to be, yeah. And I just think there's so much of a it. You say you aren't getting paid for this. It's like there's so much intrinsic payment right then and there with that fuel from the kids that just lights you up. And then, you know, later that's just like, I mean, it's kind of like the emotional memory, you know, like this is always a bad example, but you always remember exactly where you were during 9/11, you know, because the emotions were so high.
That is
But
a terrible example.
it's a terrible example. I'm sorry. It's just
Never
like,
forget.
yeah, never forget. Yeah, come on, Brad. We're talking about Christmas here. But
Or something positive.
somebody,
You know, what your childhood Christmas memories, you know?
yeah.
Yeah. Much better.
You don't really remember so much what you got, maybe some things, but more just like the experience.
Yeah.
Right.
Or what you didn't get and cried. No, I'm just joking.
Right.
It didn't really matter. Like we were happy with junk, you know, nothing.
I remember going to Disney and crying because I couldn't get my picture taken with the princess.
Yeah.
On Christmas.
That's what I remember. How ungrateful am I?
Yeah. Wait. Well, yeah. That was a lame princess. She should have came over there and gave you a big hug.
I know, right?
What's wrong with her?
Love it.
Well, yeah, no, but the point was like, yeah, you know, there's just such good times, and like it's just anchored in you. It's like, and then I think Carol Ann, fun Carol Ann, happy Carol Ann, you know, with the kids. It's just that's such good stuff. And gosh, it would just be nice to do cookies and caroling every single day. It'd be nice to do pinos and puppies every day. And you know what? Why not? Why not make it a little mini thing like that? You know, if that's what you like to do, you know, and then it's the business, it's just a byproduct of all that stuff. I mean, just seen enough, especially what Dana was, you know, sharing with all of her events. It was very inspirational because each of the things was like, you know, and she's like, I love doing it. I love doing it, you know, and then it was just like my first event, 25 people show up, and then it was like 600 some, you know. So it's a proven successful plan, which is nice. And you know, as far as business, I mean, I Dana does pretty well, so you know.
We do
She's
okay.
got a great practice.
We do okay.
People I know that are musical and sing, and I will call them after this call.
Love that.
I love
Right.
that. I love
I mean,
that.
the whole thing is it's
And
gonna be something you enjoy. If you enjoy it, you like doing it. It's the people
Yeah.
that are coming to do it with you are just coming to do it with you. And I invite friends to that stuff too. So it's not just my clients, it's friends too. We have fun.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I think that's what's cool about this real estate practice built this way is we're able to like in a way we end up getting paid for doing what we love and we're doing it with people that we love. Long as one, we're top of mind, and then two, I think what's really cool about why this works, especially now with referrals while you sleep in the background. Like one of the reasons I built it for me was when I was growing my real estate practice, I would have these events, and so I'd be top of mind. But I don't want to just be top of mind. I also want them to be like, you're the only person that I would even consider hiring because you're the best. Like I want to be the trusted authority as well. And what's cool with referrals while you sleep, running to these people, they're seeing other people saying you're great with your testimonials. They're seeing your videos. So you really kind of have the 1-2 punch here. So you can show up, have fun, be yourself. And I know for me, like that's my experience is now like I'm not getting people say, I like you, but why should I hire you? They're saying, hey, Charlie, can you uh, uh, we need to move. Can you come list our house? Which is so much better. And I thought of, I kind of like brainstormed, thought of some other simple events that I just kind of share. Um, like my idea is like, what are just kind of, they're all along that same thing. Like, and I may actually even do this because, like, there's a group of people I really enjoy, which is me going to the coffee shop and saying, hey, I'll be at, you Billy Goat. That's what we got. I'll be at Billy Goat's Thursday from 9 to 11. First coffee's on me. Drop by to say hi, and whether someone shows up or not, it doesn't matter. Um, uh, I'll be there working. And if I end up having 2 hours of conversation, that's great. If I end up, working on programming or whatever it is, inspections, that's great too. Um, I like this one, parking popsicles in the summer, you know, um, bring your kids if you want. You kind of hand them out. One guy, I know he actually just gets a Kona ice truck to show up and, anyone can stop by for 2 hours and he pays their Kona ice. And, all these are just really simple. Uh, Tony Ray Baker, some of you guys know, he's amazing. He's got one of the best real estate practices that I know. Um, Last year there was a little hotel. He's in Tucson, Arizona. There was a hotel that just updated its like um, it just renovated, and so that day he just messaged I think 30 friends and said, hey, I'm doing a happy hour here from 4 to 6. Just stop by and I'm buying the appetizers. And he said ended up like 30 people kind of, came in and out and he was just talking and, it cost him about $200 or something. I had appetizers and he said it was great. Like they had a blast. And so I just wanted to share these as kind of brainstorms of, like what are simple things. And what's cool about this, one, you're doing something that you would enjoy anyway. Two, you don't really care if the people show up or not. It gives you a great reason to reach out to them without saying, who do you know that wants to buy, sell, or invest? And I always make that noise when I make that voice when I say that, because I think it's silly to always ask my people that. I got told to say that so often. Um, and then the people that do show up, like it's pretty simple. Hey, Tony Ray Baker is actually coming on right now. Son of a gun. Um, and Tony Ray, I was just talking about you, believe it or not. Um, And we're talking about the little happy hour that you did at the hotel last year, where it was just kind of a pop-up idea. Hey, we're doing a happy hour. You paid for appetizers. You had a bunch of people show up, and it was just a simple blast. Not a lot, no setup, right? It was just fun and simple.
Yeah, it works really well. It's like treating clients like you would your best friends. So I just took that approach of what would I say to my friends, which is, hey, I'm going to be over at this place tomorrow. Come join me if you can. Let's do happy hour. And so I just took that idea on and ran with it. We texted 50 people. We chose 50 people to text, and 49 showed up. Not what I was expecting at all, which is good. But yeah, versus yesterday's, I had 3 events over the last 3 days, which were planned out in advance. So I had 600 to 700 people I saw in the last 3 days. And so that was just absolute chaos. But that little group of 50 for no setup at all was amazing because we got a lot of conversations in, and it was super simple. I just started paying for appetizers as quick as they could eat them. So really inexpensive. I think the whole thing cost me maybe a couple $100.
That's awesome.
You know, I
The
really
other
like.
thing to remember is when we added different events, I didn't do them all in 1 year. You don't have to do them all in 1 year. You can
Right.
add one this year, one next year, 1 year after that. And once the process is all figured out and ironed out, you know the steps to do it. So you don't have to do them all in 1 year, so don't overwhelm yourself.
Charlie, could you share your screen again with with those events? Because
Yeah.
there was one thing that I was actually really inspired yesterday, um, uh, talking with Terry Moyler. Some of you guys know her, and she's, you know, she does this join me for a morning walk a lot and very successfully. And you know, you know what she really inspired me. What really inspired me was, you know, she's 75 years old and she's sitting there, you know, doing all this AI stuff, and she's just like, and there were other people on the call that were like, you know, I think it was Stephen Smith's like, yeah, I'm 55, and he goes, I'm so thankful because Terry, I still have a long runway. Like I still have a lot to do and a lot to, you know, and it's just, it's things like this that you're like, okay, it's not a drab outlook, you know, because you're like, oh, we have these events that we can do that are actually fun. And you know, most of us do a walk anyway. That's like the easiest one to do. Like I'm gonna go do a walk around, you know, X Lake or at the beach or whatever it is. Um, and just that anyway, I just wanted to share that.
I love that. And you know, my insight from this, I think I shared before. I was meeting with my coach one day, and I was like looking at my database, and there was someone I was like, I don't know that I really want to talk to that person again. And we'd had this conversation probably 3 times over like 4 years. He was like, take them off. If you don't want to see the person's phone ring, if you don't want to see their name on your phone, like don't invite them. Don't that like there's plenty of people that you do jive with, that you do enjoy. Like it's the people that pass the grocery store test, the people you want to talk to, and they'd want to talk to you, and invite them to do fun things. Because really, what we're getting to do is we're getting paid to do fun things with fun people. And you know, in a way, it kind of sounds too good to be true. Um, And if that's all that we did, it's true, but there's 2 other parts to it. Oh, and everyone on here hits this first one. One, you got to be good at what you do. Like you got to have a system to actually take them from contact to appointment, appointment to get them to hire you, get them under contract, get them through the contingencies, get them to close. I often, like when I've, like that is a really good skill everyone on here has that I used to kind of like I kind of poo-pooed it. You know, I was like, everyone can do it. Like it's actually a really hard skill. So you got to have that. Y'all are good at that. And then the other is like well, I already mentioned, the other part is we can't just be only like, oh, they're the friendly, happy person. Like they also have to have this respect for our professional. Like we're good at what we do. Like they're the high advisor trust. And that's what the duo videos do. That's what the testimonials do. So those are really the three parts. Do fun things with fun people, know your stuff, have a system, and then have that place where you build the trust. Were you going to say something, Stacy?
No, I was gonna put myself on mute because all three of the dogs are out over here like snorting. I was like, they don't snort. They were so calm, and y'all got on the phone, and all of a sudden there's like snorting and drooling, and so sorry about that. It's not me.
It works like science. That's the way it happens every time. I'll be in the car for 3 hours with all the kids, and it's like quiet. I get on a call for 3 minutes, and it's like there's a full on Barnum and Bailey circus, hitting tambourines.
I have 3 Frenchies for those that don't know me, and they're like little pigs. That's what they sound like.
No. What Mike, good to see you. And what we were talking about last week, and this was a continue, is like what are just kind of some simple events that we can have, just a reason to invite people and a reason to have face to face with people. And so this was a list of just kind of simple ones that work that way. And how's y'all's business right now, Mike?
It's going pretty good. I mean, it's slowed down a little bit, right, for the Christmas season, but
Yeah.
got some listings coming up. So yeah, just finished a few closings, some new construction. So things are popping here in Utah. It's never as busy as you want it to be, but sometimes you're as busy as you want to be, right? So you don't miss
Right.
so you don't miss out with family and that kind of thing. So, but yeah, so as far as events go, I don't know if any of you guys do a pre-Thanksgiving pie event. I wasn't here last week. Do you guys do that? Okay.
A few of the folks here do.
So some of you do, and we'll do that, and we'll do a pool party in the summer. It's another reason to reach out to your clients and invite, whether they show up or not. At least you've called them and talked to them, right?
Right.
There's always Easter. We've had Easter egg hunts. We had one year, we had a great big Easter egg hunt where we actually hired a helicopter that brought the Easter bunny in and dropped him off.
You went all out that year.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. So people still remember that. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to know kind of what questions do y'all have, maybe about referrals while you sleep, or what anything that we're talking about so far. Here in a minute, we'll kind of come up with ideas for our duo videos.
I have a question. So some of the photographs that we're posting, do any of you notice a difference in some of the photographs, maybe the personal ones versus work ones? Because all the ones that I usually post are personal photographs, but I do some videos with a lender friend of mine. Do you guys notice a difference, or what kind of traction are you getting from your clients on some of those? Can you tell me?
I'm getting for mine, when I look at my results in terms of actual comments like on a post or from the referrals, I sleep had a comment on it or a like, it's about equal. I was surprised to see that there was so much activity for like real estate activities because I or so much response, so much interaction. Because I was like, well, this is who's really interested in this. But then I forgot, I just do this when I'll bring my phone with me or my gimbal if I'm just doing a meeting with a home inspector or something like that, and just take it out there. The buyers are usually there. The home inspector's there, and I'm just like, hey, I'm here. Or if I'm the other day I was doing something for my listing, taking pictures. My photographer was there, and I just took a picture of me and my photographer. I'm like, hey, we're just getting this home ready, and someone had said, "Oh my gosh, no way! I know that person. I grew up with him." And then it started like just this conversation, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't think anybody would really be interested in this." It was kind of just like I was just doing them because, like, oh, I know I should be doing them. So that was my feedback. I was getting just as much as, "Oh, I love that picture with you and your daughter. Oh, it's so good to see you guys." That stuff. I get a lot of that too. But it's about equal.
Do you get any pushback from your clients that they don't want to be in your ads, or they don't want their pictures taken or anything like that? Some people just don't want to be on the line, right?
Yeah, I usually preemptively just say, "It's like, hey, can we take a photo?" And then I just, after we take a photo, I said, "Man, this is great." I was like, I love this," and I go, so, I can't. I like to post these victories. Is that okay? And they're usually like, I've never had anyone be like. Usually, it's my own. It used to be my own story. I remember I used to be so scared because I was like, "Oh, this is cheesy. I don't want to do this. This is cheapening the experience. All this stuff." And then I was just like, you know what? This is a happy moment. Like my clients are so stoked when they see a house I had sold them like 15 years ago, and they're like they're holding the keys, and they're like they look so young because they're just it was a long time ago, and they love that. So I think that there's I haven't had anybody say no, I'd rather not do that. It was just more my own little boogeyman that I had to kind of deal with.
I have a quick question. I'm a newbie here, Mike. Are you asking just like the post that you put on Facebook, or do you take the photos and actually put them in your Dropbox? I still don't know what I'm doing. This whole AI thing is so beyond me. It's ridiculous.
So I'm talking about all the photos that I've uploaded into Referrals While You Sleep.
Okay.
It's just personal photos. And if I do videos with a lender friend of mine, I've uploaded those. I upload them to my YouTube channel and things like that. So yeah. And
So
Charlie, excuse me, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I interrupted you.
I was going to say, Charlie and I have talked about this before, how much of your photo should be business, how much should be personal. And like Brad just mentioned, not only should you show the personal side of you, I think it's important to show that you're doing the business too, right? As well as enjoying time with your families and enjoying the fruits of your labors, basically. So people can get to know that, oh yeah, she's out there doing the business. She's not always laying on the beach. See, look at Charlie. It looks like he's laying on the beach all the time, right?
Don't judge me.
With that backdrop he's got. But
All right. So you put it in the Dropbox and you put it on your social?
I put it in the Dropbox to Charlie, and Charlie's the one
Charlie does it.
He handles all that stuff for me. I don't do any of that stuff.
Okay. And I think I just read somewhere that sorry, here they come. That I think we're supposed to be like 80% personal now and 20% business. I don't know where I read that. Don't ask me for the statistic, but it used to be like 60-40. People wanted to see you working more. Now they just really want to see what you do all day.
Yeah, I think
How hard for me.
I think it just depends on what you're taking pictures of when you're working. I mean, there's a personal side of when you're working, like Brad mentioned, he's taking pictures of people 15 years ago and post it, and they think that's pretty cool. Well, he was working man, but there's still that personal side and personal touch that those people feel from that. So
Thanks, Mike.
Should we periodically be uploading
Yeah, I
more
like that.
pictures of ourselves with people and stuff? We just do that randomly, or?
Yeah. So that's what I do. Kind of like, so after these holidays, you know, I'm gonna have a ton of pictures with me with my holiday Hawaiian shirts with my friends and family. And so I'll upload a bunch of those and everyone will think, oh wow, does he only have one shirt? Uh and so like some clients like once a quarter or twice a year, they'll upload a bunch of photos. You know, I've now just gotten into the habit of when I'm out with friends or family, I give my phone to someone and say, hey, take a picture of us. And we've got for you, we've got, I can actually see, we've got 40 images that you uploaded at onboarding. So, I mean, that'll last a good 6
Me?
months. If you want to upload, yeah, you, Carol Ann. And so the goal of this is as long as you show up on this call and do the duo video, we grab the testimonials, we've got plenty of images to run. After about 90 days, our sphere forgets about the images that they've seen 3 months ago anyway. So I mean, like the truth is I've got one client, she's always busy on Tuesdays, so she never comes to these calls. She hasn't sent me anything for the last 6 months because she's been so busy. And we've just been rerunning her past content. And she loves it. She's like, hey, it works. I don't have to do anything for 6 months and it keeps running for me, which is the goal.
All right, I have another nerd question. Is there a way to get that little Dropbox thing on this?
There is.
I'm
There
gonna need some
is.
Dropbox.
Can you send me a text message and that'll be a good reminder.
I
and-
added it to my Dropbox and I'm doing much better.
You added it to your home screen?
Added it to my own Dropbox.
Oh, nice. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah,
Dana
you-
teaches me stuff all the time.
Huh?
I said, you teach me stuff all the time.
It's just because I'm lazy. I kept not finding it.
There you go.
One thing too I wanted to share is kind of like some of the principles behind it. You know, I love the book Influence by Robert Cialdini. You know, he's the godfather of persuasion and influence. Referrals While You Sleep is built off of these principles. So one of the reasons that we use, you know, personal pictures, behind the scene pictures, not just business, is the principle of liking. It's just one of the like subconscious, you know, you could say almost evolutionary like ways that create influence. Another one is reciprocity. Like whenever you share personal stories, personal photos, like there's value of that. It's not just business. Like people love seeing pictures of you with friends, with family at sporting event. I mean, that's what social media is, right? It's either pictures of you or picture of food and, you know, pictures of you. Of course, we provide, you know, if you've got a picture with your clients, that's great. That's social proof. Of course, the other thing that we do is we take the testimonial and we actually put the testimonial there. So you've got reciprocity, you got the similarity, the liking, and then we provide the social proof. One book that I really love, I've shared it with some of you before, is this book, The Like Switch. Have any of y'all ever read that book?
Mm-mm.
One of my friends, he always says, Charlie reads a book, because it's what I do. So this book's really fascinating. I can also, if you ask me, I can also send you a link to probably the best summary that I've ever seen. 13 minutes, you can get really the high level of the book. And what's cool about it, it was this ex-FBI guy, and his goal was to go to other countries and get people that were citizens of that country to America and rat out their country. And he said the way he did it was like he got them to like him. And it was through these four things: proximity, frequency, duration, and intensity. And that's what referrals while you sleep does too. Like, I mean, people are on their phone, on screens, something like 12 and a half hours a day now. So it's all the time, real close. The videos create the duration. The events create the intensity. I highly recommend that book. It was very valuable for me. And then the other thing is authenticity, especially in this age of AI, like where it's so easy to create synthetic content. When it's you being authentically you, I mean, that builds trust. Because really, I mean, at the end of the day, what we're trying to do with referrals while you sleep is how can we automate as much trust as possible to the 2,000 or 3,000 people you know. And so those are kind of some of the principles behind it. Why and how it works. Kind of, you got the photos, the videos, the testimonials. Is that helpful?
Charlie, how do we get that summary?
Text me and I'll send it to you. Will that work? Or I can post it here in the chat.
I just downloaded the book. You can give me any books. Stacy stole.
Or just write a light switch summary. They Google it. That's what I did. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't...
Oh yeah, I mean that's simple. That's a great. I mean, because really, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what I want. I want someone that says, "Charlie, I'm moving. Will you list my house? What do I need to do?" My favorite was, I've shared this a bunch, but this actually still shocks me. One of my last closings, we get under contract. I get him the net sheet for his listing, and he says, "What am I paying you again?" I was like, "I'm getting 3%, and the agents get 3%." He's like, "Okay, cool." Like we'd gone over, like I am a pro. I know what I'm doing. We'd gone over that earlier. But it's nice that he was just like, like he was going to hire me almost no matter what I charged him, so we got about 20 minutes left. Anyone have any thoughts on that? Any insights?
I just saw the upsell on that. It's just so funny because I opened up your link and it was probably the funniest one I've ever seen. I normally wouldn't say anything about this, but it's just like from nice guy to being ignored to to a winner that gets respect, and it's free training button. And then there's the alternative is no, I'd rather stay a loser. I was like, okay.
That's awesome. That's a power move.
Yeah, that's a power move, man. That's force. I thought it was what brought up for me, Charlie, was that I was actually talking to Joe yesterday, and he just says he built his by referral community on agents that the underlying premise is that they actually had to be referable, and so when you see a lot of these coaches and stuff that you're talking about where it's just like force, do more, force, that's for a lot of the people that are just not referable. That they're just and you've seen them out there, and because we're out there interacting with other agents. But I think just like everyone on this call, they're referable anyway. It's like we are referable, but then the next level on that is, okay, so how do we take that being referable, and because it's like one of those traps that we always get in. What we do, we think is normal, but it's not like our own you know, things that we're good at, our own talents, and we just really have to. That's why I think the events are so good, and every time I've done one, it's just been amazing. It's been good in all ways. But you know, now more than ever, they have to just keep seeing you because I think it used to be 8 hours was the average people watch TV, the average person was watch TV. But now you look at the phone stat and it's like 12 and a half hours on the phone is the average. I mean, that's that's crazy. So
Right.
you have to think about that. Like that's where we need to be. That's why, you know, sometimes like you gave that example of your buddy, you know, where it was like, you know, you just talk to him and then, you know, you send out the newsletters, you send out the you know, the postcards, but it wasn't enough. He had listed with somebody else, and he realized, and this is the origin of the whole system, which is just brilliant. It's just like, hey, let's just keep this. Let's keep staying in front of, keep that influence, keep that authority, and keep the consistency. You know, is consistency there, and that's really what helps to do, you know, to beef up your referral game. And the quick win is realizing that, hey, I am referable, and that I can relax a little bit. I don't have to push as much as I think I do, you know, but I still need to do stuff. So this is the work that actually, like, this is the 80/20. Like, this is the whole thing. It's like, hey, the time that you're investing to take some photos when you're over the holidays, have somebody, you know, grab your camera, or you're out, you're doing an inspection, you're meeting with a contractor to do a rehab, whatever you're doing, like you're just documenting that. And that's the critical inch, because that's the stuff what's being seen. And that's the stuff that's keeping you in their head. So that's what came up for me.
Here, 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 here.
I think what changed for me a couple months ago, about a month ago, I was trying to decide whether I was going to continue with this program or put my marketing dollars somewhere else. And I like this platform and what Charlie's done here. But I was at a friend's funeral, and a high school friend, and there were some people there from high school that I hadn't seen for probably 40 years. And they said, hey, we see you all the time on Facebook. We follow you all the time. And I'm like, holy cow. And so I knew then that, I mean, they've never been a client. I haven't talked to them since almost high school, you know? So yeah, so it works. If people know you, they're gonna keep in contact with you and follow that. So
I think it's going to work next year. It'll be even more powerful because the new Facebook algorithms are the AI on the other side of this is it's learning so quickly that, for example, I decided to run a first-time homebuyers webinar for my new agent, and we have 22 signed up in just 5 days. 22 people signed up because the Facebook algorithm took what I wrote and it blasted it through the right people because it's searching and it's learning so quickly. And it's that lead time, like the first 2 to 3 days, it's like a little kid trying to figure it out. And then all of a sudden it starts going. And so by day 5 to day 7, it's nuts how many like people it's hitting. And so I think that's the key to this is that obviously we're in front of everybody by doing this stuff, but with Charlie's product and that new AI and that algorithm, it's called dynamic something, right? Charlie knows more than I do about this, but now AI doesn't need you to A/B test. It's A/B testing for you. So you can throw 2 things out, 2 different titles, and it's going to figure out which one's going to get you the best. And it's going to push that one for you. So it's really amazing what's coming. Even like, I think 2025 will be amazing for Charlie's product along with the Facebook AI system. I think it's going to be mind blowing. And I have to go back to what Brad's saying. I'm thinking we're really redoing our marketing with BRO. I'm thinking of dumping a lot of it because it's not personal. So these postcards that have been going out for the last 5 years are not personal. My newsletters are not personal. I let everything go to automation. And so they're not seeing me. So 150 people just saw me on Sunday, and the only thing they're talking about is the silly reindeer video, the turkey video I did that to invite them there, right? Just to get them there. It was this stupid video I just quickly made to get them out, and they loved it because it was us being us. And I feel like I have to go back to the drawing board, and if I'm going to send a newsletter, it has to be the original one I used to write, which was personal, all about what's going on in my life, and giving us back to them, because they need to see and feel you. And that's what we're seeing at our dinner table, because we have dinner for 8, which I talked about before. We just had another dinner for 8, and it was an amazing 3 hours. And I think that all of this is what Brad's saying is we have to get back to authenticity and just be us. But for me, it's been consistency. I suck. I cannot continually get it out there because we're so busy. So I'm constantly trying to figure out how to get consistency. So my goal for 2025 is consistency and dumping anything that's not authentic and adding and increasing everything that is authentic.
Tony, can I ask you something? You're saying your goal for
I love
2025 is
that.
consistency. What does that mean for you?
So consistency, for example, I could throw a video out there once and then I'm like, I'm gonna do this every week. Nope. We're slam. I was gonna do so much this week, and we had 5 buyers surprise us. We came back from vacation off of Thanksgiving, and I had 5 buyers sitting in town waiting to go. They didn't even notify us they were coming. They were just all of a sudden arriving. And now Darren's running. He's been out showing property every day since Monday after Thanksgiving. He can't get back into the office. And we just took another, I think I've got another 10 listings coming up in January. So all this is the part that's killing me, is that consistency. Like, business just takes over, and then I'm not prepared because I got to put that first. And I run an art gallery, and we run a trolley tour company. So based on all that we're running, it's just very hard. So I'm trying to figure out how to get consistency, like how to make videos every week, how to make that newsletter that's personal every week, because it's so easy to use automation. Does that help?
And I would say, so the duo videos during the Tuesday call, that's new. We've just rolled that out the last, I don't know, maybe 6 weeks. And that's one of the reasons is the consistency. And also part of Referrals While You Sleep, the reason that it's built is that is our business. When we got 10 listings, you got to serve them, and you got to serve them at a high level. And it's complex and crazy. This is running in the background, because my business was always just crazy up and down because I'm going to serve the socks off of my current clients, and I didn't have time to do all the other marketing stuff. Whereas, I really built Referrals While You Sleep. So I go to Puerto Rico for a month, spend time with my kids, and I'm still in front of them. Or I can, a few months ago, I had, 6 closings in a month and a half. I didn't do any extra videos like I did this, and everything was up front. So, and Tony Ray, you've got such a big database that's seeing this. So, maybe we can work on a way to systemize your newsletter as well.
Well, Charlie, I have a thought. So I really like what Tony said about personalizing the newsletter. And I'm sure Tony knows this, he probably just forgot, but we can customize the first page of the newsletter and write anything we want there. And we got the Bro Wise to come up with our own personal story that we could input into the newsletter. So that kind of simplifies everything. But I think I'm going to follow Tony's lead there and do the best I can to personalize that newsletter. Because a newsletter just used to be my cash cow, and now it's not doing much, but it has to be there each month for these people.
Yeah, and so the customizing part for me is not enough. So I have looked at that to jump back into it, but they don't, like, if I could customize every page and leave what I want and customize what I want, I would be, I want to go back to that because the cash cow you're talking about is how I built my business off of that newsletter. Was that everybody would come and say, "Oh my God, how's your nephew doing?" Or "How's this going?" And I would have written that story a year ago in a newsletter and they still remember it because it struck a chord.
What do you do with your newsletter besides email it?
No, I don't use email at all. That's
What
just
do you
a
do with your
waste of
newsletter?
money for me. We have such a low open rate on those. So all newsletters we do snail mail so that they want to read them and they carry them around. I have doctors and dentists that used to put those newsletters in their lobbies. It's very interesting.
And you do it
When they were
monthly?
when they were
You do-
authentic.
You do newsletters monthly?
Yeah, I used to do them monthly, but I've been horribly, like I said, my consistencies. Here's the thing. I thought get consistent and you'll build your business from 0 to 5 million a year, 10 million a year, whatever it is. But it's very funny. It's a constant problem I've discovered in my work. As soon as I hit the 20 million a year threshold, how do I get to 25? Oh, well, my consistency sucks. So I'm consistent at this range. How do I move it up again? I have to get consistency again to get to the next level. And so that's
How
like
many do you
adding a
mail
new
out?
system and it's crazy.
How many do you mail out, Tony?
So we have a database of our top 400, and I know that sounds like way too much based on BRO rules, but literally I can get 400 people into a room within an invite just because they're my core 400 that have been with me. I just celebrated my 30th year. I'm in 30 years. I had a 30-year anniversary party on Sunday with clients and 150 showed up. And I couldn't even get to the invites. I got so backlogged. So I only got to invite a couple hundred.
And then what about the format of the email? Do you have an admin create that, or is it something like constant contact? What do you use?
Email for the invite.
No, just your monthly emails.
Oh, I'm using
Newsletter.
BRO. Yeah, I'm using
What?
BROs.
By
They
referral
love
only.
dates from the heart. That one they love. Birthdays, of course, they love. So those are the two emails that I think resonate most with them. But the email that gets opened the most is HomeBot. It gets a 90+% open rate every freaking month. And then they like the chicken soup from the soul emails from BRO. So that's about as much as I hit them with email, just to stay. I don't want to annoy them any more than they're already annoyed with email.
And that's so important, Tony. I just think you're on the right track because like I think at some level everyone has that consistency problem, whether it's the first 10 transactions to 500 transactions a year. But I think you're on the right track, and thank you so much for bringing up that whole thing about making it more personalized. I really think that's an 80-20 thing for next year's making that more personalized. That's going to provide the biggest bang for your buck, being the more personal that you are. And I think you really are on the right track with like, if you want to be step up your consistency for next year now is, okay, what am I cutting out? Because that's how you're going to make room for it. And there's always fat to be cut. And, so thank you. That was awesome.